Hello, welcome back to Contenders Summer Series here on the Sheer Cold Twitch stream. My name is Jay Studies Laser. If you just joined us, welcome. You're here for a super important game for this Sheer Cold team as they take on EXO Oblivione. Laser, Sheer Cold here, not only just need to win the game, I think they need every map that they can get to avoid total Oblivione and likely elimination.
Yeah, I mean, right now they are in a very precarious situation where Raspberry Racers has one left, or I guess two matches left to play, one of which is going to be a match against O4 Dash, where they are practically guaranteed to win maps, if not matches. And there are the updated standings for you. I mean, Sheer Cold dropped into 10th place after that match, and exclamation point play takes 9th. And that is a pretty rough situation to be in if you are Sheer Cold, because now you have to make up a +4 map differential against Raspberry Racers on top of praying that plus or exclamation point play does not take more maps than you. They need every map they can get here.
And on the Oblivione side, I casted this team before, and I mean, we've seen SR Peachek. They took a pretty convincing, very strong 3-0 win against this Sheer Cold team. I think EXO are better. They've been really empowered by Team UKW Maymone. Not just him, of course, but the rest of his team. EXO have been playing so well in this summer series, so they're going to look to continue as well because they need all the maps they can get. That number 2 seed, not quite locked up, of course, but that 8-1 record really staring Sheer Cold down. Our first map going to be Busan. Laser, you know it's a rush region. Welcome to EU. But Sheer Cold, can they make any adjustments? Do you think they've learned anything from their last match against SR Peachek they can carry over into this one?
Well, I mean, if we're talking about Rush, but unless they're sticking this composition, they're not playing Rush. I mean, this is a very interesting map because Rush is so dominant on 2 of the points, or I guess 1 of the points, and then you have a downtown where Dive is a very distinct possibility with Tracer Sombra, and then you also have outside Sanctuary where Dive is a pretty heavy meta as well. But you can pretty much run anything you want, but Sheer Cold is running Lucio Zen with Ball.
Lucio Zen, it's a OGN Apex type classic, shall we say. Doesn't give you the most sustain, but when you're Wrecking Ball Tracer, I guess you don't need it. What you're looking for is mobility and damage. Like Oblivione, they've got mobility, they've got sustain, they've got one-shots. This comp kind of has everything. Call it an Exodia, if you will. Maymone on the May here, just going to be looking to really sustain against this Sheer Cold dive. If they can go and try and kite it, it's going to be perfect. Point has just been unlocked. Oblivione almost just going to walk on and take it. Perfect response against the ball composition because they cannot hold point. If any of them walk point, they're just going to be ran on by the Ram and murdered. Pondy though, crucial first pick onto Cookie. Ilpy gets the trade too. Sheer Cold, I think, have punished the fact that EXO have gone point and they get the flip.
Yeah, they're almost baiting their Zen because Ilpy is playing in a little bit more aggressive position than you would look for in a Zenyatta typically, just to bait Oblivione into walking, and they've pivoted over to the Junker Queen Tracer Sombra, or I guess the Ramatra Tracer Sombra now, to try to cross these gaps a little bit quicker and punish these aggressive off angles from the Tracer and the Soldier.
And what Cookie and Maymone are doing is they're not going for the backline of Lucio Zen, they should be going for the ball. It's either or. Hat comes out onto Ilpy. Cookie's aim is just laser focused in. That was a beam straight through onto that Omnic Monk. Zenyatta falls, you lose Discord, you lose Harmony, and ultimately I think you're just going to lose the point here as well.
Yeah, that's a tough fight if you are Oblivion, or sorry, if you are Sheer Cold, because your Zenyatta goes down instantly, but they're stalling this out. This is a little bit of a commitment here from Oblivione with the window, and I mean, Sheer Cold is just bleeding time off.
Nice pull bomb. Not really going to provide anything. I think Sheer Cold are happy to stay on the point here, Laser, but Oblivione, they are sort of just rolling over. So now NKZ has swapped over to Ram. Sheer Cold, I think, are making the adjustment slowly, but man, they're down EMP and beat.
I mean, but Sheer Cold committed the pulse, and they are now going to pivot straight to the May. And they're running May Soldier, which is not the best when you're running into a Tracer Sombra piece. I mean, Soldier's left on his lonesome when everyone else goes in, and that is a tail, as we've talked about before in these broadcasts.
EMP just comes in. Sheer Cold is just
the visor though
ready to come in. Wait, the visor from Zodiel finds 1, finds 2. Actually found both support. Zodiel falls. That means the rest of Sheer Cold have got to do it. We've got to leave it up to them. But Chase torches the Marcher Ultimate. I think this is going to be the end of it. The EMP was massive. Nice trade back from Exodial, who's going to be changing off after this fight anyway. But Chase Torch committing that Ram ult to stop any Sheer Cold shenanigans.
Yeah, and now we see Sheer Cold back onto the Reaper May that they were playing previously in their match against SR Peak Check. Oblivione is going to look for a big stick here to force out either Block or Wraith, or even Nemform here.
Maymone on his much more comfortable preferred Tracer. Sand Barrier comes in from Crispy to keep them all alive, and Roger gets torched to a crisp. Condi and Ilpi fall after, and the rush of Oblivione just comes piling in, it comes stampeding forward, and Sheer Cold just ran out of the room.
And yeah, this is now final fight territory for Oblivione, and they're coming up on EMP. They're coming up on Window as well, where Sheer Cold isn't really coming up on any ultimates other than Annihilation. And Annihilation gets burned through when you have a Sombra and a Pulse. But wait, well. Maimone sticks early.
Maymone
no more Pulse.
Goes down. In the backline is Cookie trying to find that EMP, going to be on 96, 97. It's about the timing window. Can they do it before Chase Torch falls? Luckily, yes, they can. Chase Torch, though, hits the floor. The HP pools of Oblivione, they were so low, they could not go in. Cookie's EMP should just be the fight winner. It should be the nail in the coffin, but it's not. Instead, Sheer Cold get the flip. It's disastrous. Not only do they lose that fight, they lose EMP, and now you've used EMP laser. You should just lose the fight after.
Yeah, I mean, that is not really a wonderful use of the EMP there. If you are Oblivione, you're not happy with that, because EMP is a fight-winning ultimate, and you need to press that Q button and immediately go in, but never mind.
The Hack and the Ravenous Vortex, that's all they need to quickly take down Exodial. Sheer Cold gonna be staring at the back of the wall here, potentially. It might just be curtains for them. Nice Nemesis form, actually, just to try and zone them back to Blizzard, though, on top. Are they frozen? Are they stunned? Chase Torch was just kind of standing still there, but
they have to come out of this.
Nonetheless, Maymone finds 2 in the choke, gets Oblivione. I think, again, Sheer Cold had the bag, and I'm not going to say dropped it, but Oblivione snatched it away from them, tore it open, grabbed the money, and just ran. That was an illegal peer contra Exodial, and Oblivione put no prisoners. They did not need a second invitation to win that.
Yeah, shades of Oasis City Center from the previous match with Exodial or one of the Sheer Cold DPS dying early in the fight, which is not something you can have on Final Fight territory. If Sheer Cold would have survived and lived that fight, they should have won just by Ultimate Bank alone, and Oblivione would have been in a precarious situation coming into last. That being said, Oblivione pivoting over to the dive composition with the Ashe on this map, which is not something that I've seen too much in my time on NA.
Normally, this composition actually plays the Mercy to be able to pocket either Maymone or Cookie, and the Mercy just sort of flips damage beam between. But something that does make me happy, fills me up with glee, gets me very excited is Skye on this Ana. This is Skye Ripper, in case anyone is unaware. And Skye was just so good on these flag supports last week. Now they're on the Ana, big carry potential to look out for anti-nade sleep, anything from this Egyptian flex support to try and pop off. Maymone, though, here going to get hacked, retreat safely to the high ground. So going into poke mode now for the Echo. Maymone really has to soften these targets for Chase Torch to go in. Cookie also, that is their job too with these dynamites. Going to have Bob to contest point, but not for now. Maymone in a 1v1. Just clicks on Zodial and Zodial falls. Big pick going down onto the Sombra. Cookie finds Streball too. Oblivione have got control of the sightlines now. I think they're just going to rotate to the point and cap it.
Yeah, Exodial kind of greeted there with their TP. They weren't expecting Maymone to hit those shots, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. I think that Maymone was a little bit bewildered on point. That being said, they are up on copy here. Even as this window comes in, they're going to copy Baptiste and potentially die through the window immediately.
I think so. Maymone got a little bit aggressive there. Potentially not the right target, but I guess attention is a resource, ladies and gentlemen. All the non-binary folk in the chat as Chase Torch takes down LP. Unfortunately, though, Zodial is there just to take Chase Torch back to spawn, put them back down. Oblivione, though, still got control of the point.
Yeah, I
mean,
damage.
Maymone just blows up Condi, never mind. Oblivione not wanting to wait, not giving Sheer Cold the opportunity to walk onto that objective.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is what you're looking for when you have dive. You want to go on these rotates, and that's the name of the game if you're Oblivione. Sheer Cold need to rotate to take space with this Reaper, and, I mean, Oblivione is just not allowing them to do it. They're fully engaging with their Echoes and their Dynamites, and, I mean, they're playing this like a masterclass. They're not letting Sheer Cold have any space.
And it really is just the space, the distance. Maymone on one angle, Cookie on the other. Wall comes in onto Cookie to force that retreat off the high ground, but Maymone still flying high and putting down pressure. It's sound barrier from Sheer Cold to get them on the point, but Trevor just falls to the bob anyway. NKZ is flung into the back line and flung back to the squad room. Blizzard on the point, but it doesn't freeze anyone up. Cryo is forced. No Wraith form. LP no Wraith. Maimon finds 2 with the execution beam. Sheer Cold. Their resources, all their resources on that rush laser were burnt, and they're just sitting ducks on the objective.
Yeah, and Sky nanoed in the previous fight, and they're already 50 back. That means Oblivione is likely going to have a Nano Monkey or a Nano Echo of their choice in this next final fight by the time the fight is over. And Sheer Cold has to find value with this Blossom.
Maimon again.
But,
has been picked far too many times in these rotations. Getting a taste of Contenders level DPS has not been fun for the former busted support.
Let's see what you can do here, Condi. Gotta work a miracle.
Condi's gonna have to go wild here. Maimon takes down NKZ. Ilpi though finds Sky Ripper, one of the main players in this composition, down. Unfortunately, he falls. Crispy still alive. Bridging 2023, still a great hero. In case anyone needed an exclamation part, an example, an exclamation point on it. As Oblivione just slammed the door shut on any chance of Sheer Cold to walk back in. And in very, very quick time, Exo are going to walk away with map 1.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a pretty good pivot if you are Oblivione on downtown, because you know that Sheer Cold need to take space with that Reaper. And if you deny them those opportunities to rotate for free and you kind of just poke at them while rotating, maybe even put a little bit of a soft dive in, you're forcing them to use resources early that they need to brawl when they get onto those supports.
Yeah. And poke as a composition that we traditionally knew it as has kind of died a very quick death in Overwatch 2 here. But that was remnants of that composition. Ash Echo was that duo that we saw in Double Shield back in 6v6. But now they've got that dive tank core with the Anna Brig Winston, but it's not really a dive core though, is it, Laser? That's not the objective. They're not really looking to dive, especially when, as I said, you've got that poke duo of Ash Echo. Talk to me about how that composition can like fundamentally deconstruct the dive, a rush comp that Sheer Cold ran out with.
Yeah, the problem with rush compositions is that you need to take space. I keep repeating it because this is the fundamental concept of rush. You take space away from the enemy, and by doing that, you both cut off their own sight lines and make your own more prevalent. Especially when you're running a Reaper and not something like a Sojourn, a Cass, an Ashe, any of these sort of long-range poke DPS, you need that space to be your own and uncontested completely. Ashe and Echo do a wonderful job at poking out resources early and denying that space from being a complete uncontested space take. Once you take that space away, you're not really able to hold it for very long because of this consistent poke from the Ashe and the Echo.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's going to be really rough for Sheer Cold here in this next map because, as our peak check, they played one comp and they played it well. But EXO have demonstrated 2 comps there, this post-dive hybrid and the rush comp that they played on Mecha Base as well. Sheer Cold immediately sent us to Iconvolt, and I think they had a really good chance. Their rush on Iconvolt was good, and I expect to see them on a similar composition here. I wonder what they've learned from it last time, but they got the hold on third. They struggled on their first attack, but I think Oblivione definitely going to be weaker on the rush composition, but it is that overall versatility, that flexibility that they've got with Maimon and Cookie to be able to play the Reaper May, to be able to play the Sombra May, the Sim May, whatever you need it, that rush comp, and then to go over to something like the Ashe Echo as well. And you see it here, Chase Torch and Co coming out on a dive composition to really be able to let Sky Reaper cook on this corner.
Yeah, I mean, Oblivione, like I said, masterclass on dive in the previous map, and Sheer Cold, not really too many options when it comes to maps to take a dive team to on hybrid, because every point or every map on hybrid has at least 1 or 2 good dive points. And I think that's what EXO's strength is going to be on this map, especially when Sheer Cold is running the same composition that we saw from them on the previous map. EXO knows how to play into this. They just beat them on it, and now they are putting it to the test again.
Shall we see? Second point is going to be marvelous, fantastic for Oblivione in this composition, but they're going to have to get through a tight choke point, and Aram that is going to be hard pressuring Chase Touch here on the Winston to do it. Here we see the Mercy come out that I mentioned earlier in the previous map. Why? Because Maimon needs more poke power They need to really try and soften them up even more than they did on that first map, because the sight lines are closer, the angle of engage is closer. Look, Chase Touch getting pressured immediately. Wall comes into Condi to try and force Maimon here. Still kiting, not yet ready to go in with that execute, even if they can land it. It's going to be show punishing. Ravenous Vortex comes out from NKZ to try and pull down Maimon. Not going to happen though. Condi though, great first pick from Sheer Cold. They find one of the DPS, which means now they focus their attention onto Maimon, or they just go for Chase Touch. They go for the latter, they run down this Winston. Great Ravenous Vortex from NKZ. Sheer Cold off the pick of Condi, execute that fight perfectly. Flowchart Overwatch, and whilst Condi falls, it's not going to matter too much.
Yeah, I mean, that was a brilliant first pick out from the Mei onto the Tracer. Mei headshot onto Tracer does one shot, as most Tracer players unfortunately know. And they're using that to their full advantage. Tracer is a tough play into this composition because your job is just to be annoying and take attention. We talked about in the previous map, attention is a resource. And that is an all-important resource in a brawl, because when you're playing into dive, you need all the attention you can get.
Nice nades and Sky Ripper onto both of the DPS to open up the point. No resources committed from them, I believe.
The Ram.
Copy onto the Ram going in. Here we go. Maimon trying to build up this Nemesis form, this Annihilation as quickly as possible. Look at the punch, it's so aggressive. There we go. It's built up, but Sheer Cold have already found two. Can Maimon do it? They've had to find the trade and the resurrections, I believe. 2v2 on the objective. Maimon pops out of that copy form, back into the normal Echo. Execute beam not yet committed. That's going to be Coalescence now from Sheer Cold as well to try and sustain back out. I think they've got a great angle to walk up here on the point. That's the Winston not committed. There we go. Primal is forced out. Blizzard goes down just to zone. Doesn't find anyone. NKZ here in this Nemesis form. Into the Annihilation. Again, Sheer Cold wasting ultimates. Doesn't really find anything. Is this the angle for Exo to punish? Yes, it is. Cookie pulses Strebor. No Lucio, which means Sheer Cold might not be going anywhere for now.
Oh, good peel.
Condi in the backline, yeah, fantastic peel onto Sky Ripper. They know how much damage, how much sustain this Anna gives them. They immediately protect El Presidente. NKZ falls, ex Oblivione just going to walk onto the objective. Laser, where did it go wrong for Sheer Cold here?
I mean, Sheer Cold just like, they didn't find picks early. They allowed Sky Ripper to just sit uncontested pretty much in their own corner and not really contest them whatsoever, poke them out, rush onto them, whatever they needed to do. And they pivot over to the Sombra, hoping that they can hack Maimone here and go onto them with the engage. And there's the hack.
There we go.
No engage.
Great hack actually onto Maimon, but now Maimon is just in their team behind them. Ram form again. Maimon has got this copy up so quickly. LP, no fade. Nope. They're just going to fall down to the punches of the Echo copy Ramatra. Maimon finds the second as well. This Echo is doing everything and more on Echo, on Ram. Second best Ram player, maybe the best Ram player in the lobby. If you want to give him his respect. Ex Oblivione, great fight from them. Maimon gets another exit pick as well as they get the cart on rolling. Sheer Cold, I like the rotation, but LP's fade not being up there, just punished by Exo.
Absolutely. I mean, copy out from Maimon. We've seen it a couple times now, and every time they get the Ramatra, they find at least one or two and farm their ultimate immediately. I mean, they don't have Sheer Cold doesn't have Condi to fight, and NKZ goes down early again.
NKZ falls. Exodio though, can they pull it back? They have done with the Death Blossom many a time. LP finds Sky though, big pick. Can it be Red? Crispy is in the Valkyrie. The wings come out for Ex Oblivione's Guardian Angel there. Crispy, can they keep them alive? Speaking of kept alive, LP didn't do everything to keep Exodio up. They recognize that win condition and no. LP's attention is diverted for a second, and Exodio just instantly falls to the poke from Maimon. That is the power of the Echo Mercy duo, and now with the Reaper down, it is curtains. There is going to be no Hellfire shotguns to chew through the HP of Ex Oblivione as they keep the cart rolling forward.
Yeah, good fight there from Ex Oblivione. They only committed Valk and Nano, and now Sheer Cold has to find value with this EMP and then possibly commit the Ramatra roll to clean up the fight. And Ex Oblivione just has their pick of when to engage, pretty much. They can poke this out and then kite immediately because they're not able to take Castle. But EMP early?
Condi's EMP, but Cookie goes first. Maimon drops the execution beam immediately onto LP. They go second. Can they do it? Sheer Cold in a down fight. Exodio finds Maimon. Perfect pick, remember. Resurrection still available for Crispy. NKZ almost hacked out. Chase Touch flings Strebor off the map. Great primal control from the Exo Winston. NKZ going to be forced into the power block, hacked up out of it, antied up, and NKZ just gets the full Overwatch 2 tank experience. Exo had all their cooldowns and they just synced them in. Put that Ramatra back into its cage, back to the spawn room. There will be no Ram shenanigans for NKZs. He goes over to the Diva and Exo continue. Maimon copying Sombra here in the split fight. This should just be still fight for Exo though.
Yeah, I mean, but this EMP is going to be massive onto Condi.
Wait.
They don't get the pick off it, though.
They don't kill him. This is not good.
Ooh.
Shitcold, remember, have respawns.
Ooh, almost a pick on the Exodial, too.
Shitcold have respawns here, remember. NKZ, though, popped out of Mech Exo. The Nano Boost goes on to Chase Torch. LP is left without Fade, and I think without Hope and without a paddle, and they are on Oblivione's streak. There's nothing they can do. So it's just a matter of when they're going to walk this in.
Yeah, I mean, Exodial without a Miracle Death Blossom, that will be the second point. Sheer Cold now has, coming up on 4 ultimates, they have Blossom EMP, a big combo, and they have the Coal for aggression, the Beat for sustain. But Exo now has Primal again, even though Chase Torch just used it the previous fight, courtesy of Skyrippa's Nano. And Cookie has this massive EMP to farm. Maimone's copy again, by the way.
On his EMP, goes down and
nothing.
It's hatched up, but Chase Torch just jumps away as it goes down. Perfect exit from Exo. They try and go in on the re-engage EMP. Ilp is just slapped and bounced like a, I don't know, Mario against a Goomba, for example. Goomba stomp, there we go. NKZ pops Maimon out of his copy. He's been building that ultimate up incredibly fast. NKZ taking a small nap here. Might just get punished, does just get burst. The Execution Beam doesn't even need to come out, and now it can go on to Zodial. Rate has been forced, and I think that Reaper is not long for this fight either. Strabor trying to cook, trying to find the Mercy in the 1v1. Nope, they peel to keep Crispy alive. Sheer Cold, they went early with the EMP, and I think a little bit too early.
Yeah, a little bit too early, a little bit of over-aggression there if you are Sheer Cold. And I mean, they're hunting this Sombra. Condi's in trouble here.
Condi getting picked off, it's not going to be good. Cookie has to force out though at least, so Translocator gone. He's got a small window of opportunity here, but under a minute left. Oblivione slowly rolling this card over. Shitcold might be able to get the full hold. We saw them do it before. Nano now going on to Maimon. Every time I look, Sky's got this ability up. The Ana is uncontested, yes, but getting so much value. Now Maimon's got copy again. It's just ultimate after ultimate after ultimate for Exo. Shades of Overwatch 1, great. Grabbing his Vortex to slow both supports. Maimon on the Ram. It's going to be a duel of Rams, duel of Annihilation forms. And I think Maimon is winning. Gets popped out of his prematurely.
Ilpi lives.
NKZ. Right, Ilpi is still alive. The EMP's dropped from Cookie, and I think he might not be living any longer. NKZ goes into the block. Coalescence, though. Comes up, Shitcold. I think they're still in this fight. 15 seconds left. Zodial drops the Death Blossom. It finds Maimon. Probably going to be looking for Crispy next. Hellfire shotguns ripped through the Mercy. And Shitcold at the 11th hour, 11:59 p.m. Just before the clock strikes midnight. I think they found this hold. The EMP for good measure. Chase Torch falls. And Shitcold once again find a 3rd-point hold on Iconvolt. They've still got to do it on attack. But Laser, good signs there for Shitcold on this last point.
Well, we say good signs, but we saw this in our last match as well. And Sheer Cold has to learn from their previous match against SR Peak Check on how to attack this first point, because they didn't even get first point on their last attack. We saw them hold 3rd point with a convincing time bank coming in, and then they hold it out like a brick wall. And then they immediately crumble on the offense. We can't see that again. Sheer Cold have to find something different and pivot away from what they played previously, because they were just punished by SR Peak Check's untempered aggression.
And kind of a fitting image there from our observers, as the flame of hope for Sheer Cold in this match is still burning. Is Oblivione going to do their best job to try and throw sand at that flame to try and extinguish it as fast as possible. Sheer Cold really did struggle on their first point attack last time they played Iconvolt, last map, last game, and Exo. I think this composition is quite good into them, shall we say. Cookie and Maimon are going to have so much space to be able to poke them out in rotation.
Yeah, I mean, this is the name of the game for Exo. You can't let them rotate for free like you saw on Downtown Busan. Exo to poke and help Maimon poke out early, farm copy, and they have Crispy to help do it, but Cookie is there to help burn this Ramatra down. You can farm so much so much rail charge off of this Ramatra with Sojourn now with her new buff.
NKZ and Co going to try and pass to the high ground. They've encountered Chase Torch. Zodial's fade is forced. Is they going to rotate all the way up? So this is the deep rotation. Is Condi on the flip side going to hack up Sky to isolate it? The Ana immediately is forcefully peeled for the sake of winning that 1v1. Bubble comes down. Nemesis form comes down. Both tanks trading cooldowns on the point. Sky is hacked once again and really pressured out. Exodial also getting poked out as well. But NKZ
Maymon
is the one to fall first. Maymon finds one. Maymon finds a second. They did not look at the Echo or the Mercy. They're punished for it. They find Chase Torch, but I think Shakehold might just be leading too many targets.
Yeah, Maymon finds 3, make it 4 in that fight. And I mean, they have copy online already. This is a recurring theme in this map so far. Maymon, every time I look at them, they have copy. And it is a blessing for EXO, who is not really up to scratch on the rest of their ultimates yet. Crispy is hard pocketing Maymon because they know that they're doing so much work in this Echo. They're going to look for a copy engage on the Ram here, I think.
It's so hard for Shakehold to play the game of rotations and ultimate efficiency. There we go. Maymon's having his vortex. Doesn't find anyone, but LP's been split yet again. Do they have one? No, they don't. But the ultimate is just going to be committed from the copied Ram. There we go. It does. Zodial falls as Oblivione dive in. It's a Echo into Ram copy dive. Shakehold, they've got to be clean and they've got to be tighter with these rotations because Maymon is forcing every single cooldown just with left click and sticky nades.
Yeah, but what do you do when there's a copied ROM in your backline? Immediately, the ROM drops from the heavens and you are just immediately decimated because there's nothing you could do to respond to that. That being said, Shakehold now have the triple entendre of Blossom, EMP,
the nade from Sky was disgusting, but he falls 2 for 1 NKZ. I think they might have finally found the fight. Cookie and Sky fall. The hack comes out. It was not EMP. Condi saves that. Great nade from Sky, but I think they found the punish for it. And it had to be at the expense of their own life. Oblivione might be able to take the region test here. Shakehold on the point for now with EMP.
Yep, there's the EMP onto the Monkey on point, and this should just be a cleanup here for Shakehold. Maybe they committed a little bit more than they would like there. With that being said, first point cap is a first point cap, and now they have a little bit more height advantage on this point, where EXO can kind of not really take Castle away from them if they are able to take it in the first place.
I think it's really easy to look at Condi's EMP usage there and, exclamation mark int, whatever you want to call it. I think it looks like an overinvestment, but clearly there is the fear of the time bank and the understanding of EXO's ability to region test and what ultimates they had. You build it up quickly on this second point as well. Shakehold just need to get out of first and into this street safe. This is where the real challenge fights and starts and begins for Shakehold against this composition. NKZ going into the front line just with this Nemesis form to try and block damage. Maymon's got copy again. Sky's Nano has just expired. Pop that onto Chase Torch, or probably Maymon to be fair. NKZ though going into the front line, gets slapped up. Exodial collapses, Strebor collapses. Shakehold, little bit of ring around the roses. They hit the rotation. Shall we say they force back and then they just dive the backline. Great fight from Shakehold actually. They found the backline and that was it.
Yeah, I mean, that is what you want to do on this brawl composition. You need to take the fastest route into the backline of Oblivione and not allow the support, the DPS and the tank to poke you out or dive you. You can't allow the long-range fights. And I mean, look at Chase Torch going in on the backline. Loki's fate is already forced.
Chase Torch without Primal actually died before they could use it. And that forces Maymon out into the ROM. So now 5v4, but they've still got a tank remaining technically. Maymon in that form is going to have the same HP as his counterpart, NKZ, but immediately just burst down out of it. Cookie's EMP is online and ready to go. But there's no tank to follow up now. Chase Torch is in. Do they drop the EMP? No. They are on Cookie's kind of on a flank now, I think, but Maymon's going to clean up Strebor. So this Shakehold rush composition has been isolated, it's been split.
Oh, no fade on Ilpy.
No, they don't have a Lucio to regroup yet. Zodiel going to try and TP out. No fade on Ilpy. No. Condi commits the EMP and it's a disaster. But it might be, is it? NKZ and Condi are still cooking. They might have the numbers. Sky Maymon go big. But NKZ falls, and I like the EMP from Condi. I think they just needed 1 or 2 supports there left. Crispy Valkyrie is going to keep them up too. Man, Shakehold, so close to be fair.
Yeah, Condi's EMP was a little bit late, got Maymon off of the map. The EMP actually hacked the Echo Flight out, and they fell into the pit. But that being said, Shakehold did not capitalize on it, could not capitalize on it. And now Maymon almost has another copy. This is a recurring theme, and this is a massive nade. Wait!
Massive nade into EMP. Strebor just immediately falls. That's a recurring theme. Maymon blows up NKZ. Echo into ROM does not like a fun experience for that main tank of Shakehold. Maymon, man, if you needed a demonstration and a reminder that Echo is broken, ladies and gentlemen, Echo Mercy is even more busted. Maymon has copy. Sky's almost 50% to a nano boost as well. Shakehold don't have EMP. They've got a couple of ultimates, but they've got 1 or 2 fights to do it later. This might just be last fight for them.
Yeah, I mean,
Zodial
and
go?
oh, Zodial. Oh, wait, this ROM goes in and gets antied immediately.
Wait, may known. Have EXO overextended here? Are they cooking a little bit too hard? LP uses fade there. Managed to spot that one, which means they might just be dead to chase torch. Maymone makes sure that they are. NKZ though finds Sky on the rotation, so it's flex support or flex support. Sustain for sustain, but I think that only
big boop on NKZ.
They've got the res, but NKZ falls. The flying fist of Fury from Chase Torch. Just going to bat NKZ off the map, backhanded into the river. In sheer cold, they might be out of time. They might be out of ideas, but they've got one last attempt to throw ultimates at the situation.
Yeah, they might be out of time and out of ideas, but they're not out of resources yet because they have the Coalescence, they have the Death Blossom, they have the Beat, all really good either offensive or sustain.
Strebor, no, Strebor, the inside rotation.
There's no Beat.
Oh, now you lose sound barrier.
You need to have a big Blossom out here from Exodio, but it might be too late unless the rest of this team can live.
Cookie falls though, it's big.
Big Blossom.
Exodio in the 11th hour. Yes, it does. Finds 1, finds 2, finds 3. NKZ has been popped out of mech, swapped to the Diva in the overtime fight, but cometh the hour, cometh the man. Exodio on the objective with the Death Blossom. The Reaper character, he's got 2 shotguns, and in that fight, it was all he needed to send Oblivione packing. Shakehold stay alive in this map.
Yeah, it may not be Friday, but it is definitely Reaper's Day, and it is time for Oblivione to use this EMP or the copy to go in, and they have their pick of the litter. They can use whatever they want here. I think it's going to be an EMP engage out here from Cookie, or a copy onto the Ram, as we've seen previously.
They're going to have to go quick. Cookie gets hacked up, no EMP themselves. Transfer kick comes immediately out. Oblivione, the full low, and then they go back up to full HP. Thanks to sustain of Crispy and Sky. The wings are out as well. EXO. A lot of resources forced, but Shakehold don't really have anything apart from that EMP. Probably would have liked to win it. Definitely would have liked to win it from there. Cookie's EMP, though. This is the opportunity for Shakehold to be punished. 30 seconds left. Cookie, there we go. Drops it. It's a 5-man. Immediately finds 2. All of Shakehold hit the deck. 28 seconds left. They've got to get out quick.
Yeah, they need to die or reset immediately, and NKZ's ultimate is the only saving grace. Ilpi's Coalescence coming online soon, but that is not a fight-winning ultimate. They just need to go aggressive with NKZ and int onto the backline of Sky and Crispy here. But it's going to be a tough ask when your Lucio is that low.
Going early. Chase Torch deciding to not
Ilpi goes down early, no Cole.
Condi gets the touch though, so the overtime wick will start. They are alive in this fight. Star goes to 1 HP, but NKZ falls to 0 HP first. Strebor dead. Exodio dead. The EMP from Condi came in. I think that was the real opportunity for them to win it. Oblivione still had resources. And once again, Shakehold, they did a lot better than they did against SRP Check, but they were just a fight away. And the distance for defeat, so narrow, but in the end, it is not narrow enough. Zodial's play of the game here. Massive Death Blossom to even give them an opportunity in this fight, to be fair to the Spanish hit stand. Select DPS, whatever you want to call them, picked up the Reaper in this map and tried to do his best there in that fight, but man, just a fight away. Now we're going over to Escort, and I don't quite want to call it, but EXO have looked so comfortable on this composition playing around Maymone, and I think it gets probably its strongest on these Escort maps, Laser.
Yeah, I mean, Escort is even more of a dive-centric map type than you've seen in previous maps. I mean, Hybrid is a pretty comfortable one for dive on certain points. It shifts throughout different maps and different points, but Escort, you can run dive on most of them, and I would not be surprised to see Sheer Cold pick a rush-centric one here. I don't know what map they're going to pick. I don't know what's in the pool. I'm going to be completely honest with you.
It is going to be, obviously, well, we know it's
Circuit, Dorado, Route 66, and Jib. I think Circuit Royale and Route 66 are on the menu if you are Sheer Cold picking this map. I think those are the only 2 options, seeing that I guess you can comfortably mirror you can play Rush Dive as we saw in that past map. And I think my camera froze. Okay, we're back.
No, we're good. Okay, Circuit Royale and Route potentially on the menu. Yes. Watchpoint Gibraltar, probably not. I don't think I want to play Blue Box against Cookie and Maymone with this Mercy, Anna sort of poke-based composition that we're pulling out here. Then Maymone got so much value without the the pocket on Busan, and got pocket on this map and just didn't really 1v9. but holy, did so much work.
I want to see the damage and elim numbers out from Maimon there, because
It would've
man,
been
did they
monstrous.
own, yeah, they owned the back line of Sheer
Giroud?
Cold on most of those. Yep.
I
About
mean,
what I
look at-
expected,
yeah,
just
and
because that is a brawl map.
if you needed a reminder that EXO are 8-1, then look at the results. They're basically 3-0, 3-1, 2-0, 2-1 on Escort, cleaning these maps up with efficiency. And EXO, they've got all the time in the world here, I think. Route 66, I don't mind it for Sheer Cold, and I almost love it for EXO's composition as well. It's going to be a bit harder. I think Sheer Cold will try and pull out these hit stands against Maimon, surely, or just maybe try and trace a Somber it and go from there. But as I said, it's Escort, so I'm not favoriting Sheer Cold here. I think unfortunately this map is just like too strong for dive at the top level.
Yeah, I think especially second point is going to be the holding ground for Sheer Cold. They will more than likely not get past that on attack. And I believe that most teams pick defense first, so we will likely see that prophecy either come true or be disproven quicker rather than later. And I think second point is just way too oppressive with that extra high ground. You're not able to take away the space on top of that first platform if you are on a brawl composition with no mobility to verticality. And I think that's a tough ask of your DPS to take a duel against Maimon with a pocket without having control of the height.
And I've seen close holds and rush be played on this map before, Laser, but unfortunately I don't think we're going to be going into the Walterverse for this one. There will be no Bazef shenanigans, I think. It just can't be done. Sheer Cold, though. They showed us a little bit of flexibility with NKZ on the Diva. Zodial can pull out the Hanzo. Condi here on the Tracer. Sheer Cold roll out on the defense here to try and get a map. Remember, we came into this series saying it's not even just about winning. For Sheer Cold, it's about getting as many maps as possible. And I mean, this has to be it. It's reverse sweep or go home. Can they just get one?
Yeah, and that one is the magic number, because one starts this series off with a possible reverse sweep, and also narrows that down a little bit, because they're already having to make up a +4 map differential in addition to winning this match if they want to stay alive. And I don't know if the Hanzo is the answer into an Echo when you're playing against Maimon with a pocket. And I think Exodio might be in for a bad time.
We shall see. EXO, though, are going to be very careful and meticulous with this first dive, I imagine. Just going to let Maimon and Cookie poke. Crispy deciding against the Mercy immediately. I guess for the pressure of Connie and NKZ to be able to really force down the wings out of that Mercy, keep them grounded for now. Chase.Shade goes for the high ground contest. Bubble is dropped. NKZ trying to be forced away. The Diva could be scrambling, flying away. The hack. Well, it was the anti that came in. NKZ does manage to keep their mech, so and EXO just going to be playing the poke war for now.
Yeah, I mean, poke is their composition, and Sheer Cold is just going to be looking to protect their backline pretty much, because Brig Ana, I mean, as I say that, Exodio, goodbye. You are not living on that high ground for too long when you have a monkey in your face. That being said, Cookie is traded, though.
Big trade, I think, for Sheer Cold. Sheer Cold do not have the respawn advantage.
NKZ?
Has just been bounced immediately off the map. Not sure what went on there. Maimon has already got pulse bomb as well. Oblivione going to be continuing to get the cart. Look at the stagger onto the Ana as well. No. Just a good salt in the wounds. EXO going to be continuing to roll this cart, and now they've got forward hold as well.
Yeah, you need to look out for a nano here from Sheer Cold onto the NKZ or to Condi, where Condi's pulse bomb is going to be the flip on this fight, but Oblivione has the nano of their own onto Monkey to trade the backlines. If Chase Swords can find either Strebber or Ilpy before they can get their ultimates off, this will be a massive fight momentum turner.
Pulse bomb from Condi to take down Crispy, so that leaves no card anchor for EXO, which means Sheer Cold has an opportunity to come back in this fight. Nano onto the Diva, it's going to expire in a couple of seconds, forces out Maimon at least, but that's all it's going to do. You would have wanted to convert that into a kill, or at least basically all of Chase Torch's HP pool.
Going for one again.
Great pick. Condi has found both supports in this fight, by the way. Let him cook on the Tracer. It absolutely is. It's looking like a 5-star Michelin chef type meal for the Tracer of Sheer Cold. Unfortunately, though, the rest of his team falling around him. Exodio finds Maimon, though. with other DPS counterpart trying to do anything. NKZ's bomb going to zone, but the hands are full. It really is all on Condi now. As the micro missiles come out, actually going to blow up Chase Touch, Winston to D.Va. People say it counts, people say it doesn't, but I mean, at that range, NKZ's always going to win that 1v1. Wait, they nano Crispy?
They nano on the Brig.
Okay.
This is an interesting play, because now the Brig can just brawl in this room for free and never die, and NKZ gets isolated from his supports because of it. That's a way big stick.
Oh, Maymon finds the stick just round the corner. Exodial dead, NKZ after as well. Exodial, man, out of spawn died, out of spawn stuck. That's sometimes the full dive experience. Oblivione. There was a window for Shakehold to come back in this fight, but they just couldn't quite find the targets, and Exo punished them for it.
Yeah, we see a lot of Hanzo Tracer with D.Va on Gibraltar, but not so much on Route 66. That being said, I said it when Oblivione was running Maymon on the Echo, but Exodial is not in for a good time because he is the target of these dives. They are the only one with no real escapability and no real sustain like Brig or Ana. It is a tough ask, again, for your DPS to contest when you have a monkey in your face and possibly a Tracer in your backline.
Exodial will try his best to find hits, but Cookie just 2 Storm Arrows through Condi, and they fall. Exodial, though, finds one. NKZ pushes Sky into the Dragons, actually. Great little play, heads-up play from the D.Va. They compile the missiles on top just to take down Sky Ripper. Crispy and Sky both dead, supported down. Sheercold win the fight for now.
Yeah, good fight there from Sheercold, looking to trade the backline.
NKZ. Wow.
Little bit of a feed. That's a tough situation. Missed the pulse as well, and get whipped for it. Oh no, it's all falling apart.
Listen, there's no macro here to criticize. There is no intent, and we can see it. It's just a micro misplay. Next to Vivione, just punish. Look at how far back Shakehold have been forced here.
Yeah, and Strebber gets staggered again. They might not even get another fight on second now because Strebber gets staggered so late. If they put 2 or 3 on cart, it will be a very late fight if they get a fight at all. And now Oblivione has all the ults to stuff this choke. Crispy coming up on the rally. Chase Torch can primal juggle them away from this choke when they come out of bottom. Maymon looking for the stick on Strebber.
Treble. Rally forced, but 1v3.
No.
Great high ground pressure from Exo. The rotation was split. You lose Rally, you lose Brig, therefore you lose LP immediately after. Maymon cleans up 2, and there we go. Exo just trying to roll this into second far too easily.
Yeah, way too easy. If you are Sheercold, you do not want to give up second. That was your bread and butter because you have a D.Va. You're able to hold off that high ground. And I mean, Exo now coming up on more ultimates. They have the nano engage again, where Sheercold doesn't really have anything to respond with, and they pivot Condi over the Echo instead of leaving him on the Tracer to mark Maymon, which is I don't know if this is going to work or not. I want to see how this works because Condi is not able to dive with a monkey like he would normally.
And they definitely won't, and it really leaves NKZ to do a lot more healing. The monkey can probably sustain better than the D.Va, to be fair. Maymon going to be more self-reliant. Condi, though, I think, does not really have a good matchup against either of these Exo DPS, but NKZ, we've seen D.Vas in the past do a lot of work at marking the Ana in the Brig, and effectively just 1v2ing them. It can be done, particularly with those missiles, and then your DPS pincers, and it's game over. But Rookie just hits a headshot onto LP. Why dive? Why set up a pincer? Why set up a 3-2-1 go? When you can just headshot someone, that's the power of the Hanzo. Nano onto the Winston, Juiceway impression from Chase Torch, Jester impression, whatever you want to call it. It was a great primal rage control. And Exo, they've got control of the cart. Shakehold is so split as they're just going to look to roll this with a minute 50.
And LP gets pulsed out of spawn too. This is likely a disaster here from Sheercold. They don't have any sustain on point. Condi's going to get focus fire, and that will be the round. Yeah, that will be the round. That's brutal.
Shakehold were on a string. They were puppeteered by Oblivione there. Every single time they walked out, Shakehold just had them read. 3-man collapse onto Strebor, dive onto LP afterwards. Exodial forced out early. NKZ loses his mech on a bait dive because he tries to go 1v2. Condi on the Echo, immediately focused down by Cookie and Chase Torch. Shakehold, and I'm not just saying this because obviously we're on their stream, but man, it's kind of sad in a way that it's just like Shakehold are unable to get anything going. You know, like they're really struggling to just get out the gate and play their composition because Exo just slamming the door shut on everything, and every small little mistake is being shut down by Shakehold. And they are winning, obviously, some of these fights, thanks to the Dragons and NKZ finding a pick or two, but Oblivione, so much playmaking potential that, man, shit cold. As I said, they just can't really get out of first gear here.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting stalled out in the neutral. And honestly, it's tough to win fights in neutral when you're losing either your backline or your main source of damage in Exodial pretty early. Just to random either headshots, to dives, to poke, whatever you want to call it. The name of the game is keeping your supports and your Hanzo alive for as long as possible, because those are the only dive targets that Oblivione have in this composition. And if you can't do that, then it's going to be a really, really rough match.
And it's been a rout so far, and with all the attention that Ecto are forcing onto Chase Torch, Cookie, and Maymone, it means Sky is just sort of uncontested and being able to play PvE Ana effectively. And if there was one person in this whole region you do not want to let play PvE Ana uncontested, it would be Sky Reaper, because they've carried a map before, and you would bet on them to do it again. Cookie falls though, great dive from NKZ to open, and Sky falls, there we go, they find the all-important Ana. Shit cold. Find and open this fight up immediately, 3v5 situation. Actually, we only have to run.
Yep, and that is a great first fight if you are Sheer Cold, because not only do you buy yourself a quick fight and not so much time bank loss, but you also buy yourself all of this space on top of gas station. You see where NKZ is playing now on the Monkey, and where Condi is allowed to play, now that they forced these to force off high ground. And I mean, look at Chase Torch has no support because NKZ is in the backline with Sky.
NKZ slept, and NKZ headshot. Did not manage to dodge that Ana cooldown, punished for it. Maymone going into the pulse bomb, LP walks onto it. That was not stuck. Yeah, still though, gets all the value that it needs. Stuck, attached, or not. Strebor here in a room. Might not be in this room any longer, might just be dead.
Big anti on Strebor.
Behind the shield. Yeah, there we go. Sheer Cold cleaned up in this fight all too quickly.
Yeah, and that is a great stagger from Exo, because now Sheer Cold is coming up on a couple of big ultimates here from Condi and Ilpi. Ilpi's going to look for a nano either onto the copy or NKZ, whichever they prefer. And we might see a little bit of a chimp exhibit with a double monkey dive. And that is going to be responded to quickly. Oh, big whip.
Big whip shot. Possible thanks to low ping. Cookie's been fishing for that pick onto Condi all fight, the last 10 seconds or so, and finally they land it. NKZ's nano doesn't really find anything. They weren't able to find the Ana. Headshot on the way out. Cookie, perfectly timed. And the only chimp exhibit we're getting is the one in the Cincinnati Zoo circa 2016. As Harambe and Co are all taken down. Cookie finds another headshot. And it's been rough here for NKZ on the Winston.
Yeah, a day at the shooting range for Cookie, shooting everybody in the head. And, I mean, wait, Condi goes down late again. That's a brutal stagger, because that's another 15 seconds off.
What can Sheer Cold do? How can they get themselves back into this? They've got win conditions available, a minute 30 left to go.
Yeah, Maymone's going to look for a stick early, and Sheer Cold need to live through it, because that is the only way that they're going to win this fight, or force more ultimates out of Exo. It's their win condition. They have to force ultimates early, because, I mean, Exo has all of their big ults online. Big stick, there it is.
Split away from Strebor, playing
and
in that
sleep
room.
on a Condi.
Maymone just finds it. Yep, Condi slapped as well. In that copy, immediately popped out of it. Cookie has found one Exodial though, trying to claw their team back in this fight, drag them to it. NKZ as well. How often has it been one of these two to get themselves back? NKZ, there we go. Has been finally let out of the stable, out of the pen, off the leash. NKZ finding the great primal rage control, and Sheer Cold, they've got a chance of capping first at least. They're alive for now.
They do, but Ilpi needs to go massive with this nano and possibly an anti with NKZ's dive. And wait, no, Crispy is going to get staggered here. They've got the rally, but they have no support.
No way he gets out. No way he gets out. No way Strebor falls.
No way.
It's a disaster, Crispy. Any one of Sheer Cold, look at him breathe on him, melee him, and he'll die. It's a disaster. NKZ falls.
No.
Oh, NKZ hitting the raw in all chat. And yeah, I would
it's
be
all
too
falling
really.
apart. And I mean, yeah, I think Sheer Cold just need to find a massive nano here onto Condi or NKZ, and they need to find value quickly, because this is going to be the last fight. This might be the last fight of their playoff run.
The nano's whip shot. It's a disaster. NKZ is going to still get some time left. Great little right clicks to poke out Cookie. Now NKZ is on the card. 0 time whip starts. They're going to have to stay anchored to it. Next with Oblivione, probably going to punish that. Circle around this Winston. Go and find anyone else. Sky back on this Kiri, just going to step away. Nade comes in.
Big anti on the Sky.
Big anti. Sky falls. Chase Torch, 1 HP as well. Condi finds him. Dragon Strike comes through, but it's immediately traded back. 2 for 2. 2v5 on the point. The nano doesn't come in. I think it might have came into Cookie. I'm actually not too sure about that one, but Maimon is still alive, and Maimon is cooking on this Tracer. They do not touch. And his potential C9 to end it, ex Oblivione. And they walk away with the 3-0. Sheer Cold, that might have just been your last hope of making it out into playoffs. I don't really think it was a C9. Maimon here comes up huge in this big fight, but it started so well for Sheer Cold, and then immediately 2 traded back. And they left Maimon alive, and the Team UK Tracer made them pay. Ex Oblivione, once again, just so impressive on non-rush based compositions. And as quickly as this one started, Laser, it was a 3 Overwatch, and we're going to be getting out of here very soon.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough match for Sheer Cold. They looked really good on Eichenwald. They were 1 fight away from capping, and they held them on 3rd. But man, that's a brutal loss. I said that they were going to get held on 2nd. My prophecy was proven incorrect, and they were held on 1st to potentially end their playoff run. And now, I mean, it's really, their fate is now in the hands of other teams.
Other teams, yes.
Raspberry Racers has to lose convincingly their next few matches, and Sheer Cold needs to win against, who do they have left? Can we get the schedule graphic if we have that up? Yeah. Oh, never mind. Yeah, they have to win against Ataraxia.
Yeah, Ataraxia.
Yeah. So Ataraxia has to lose. They have to beat, or sorry, Sheer Cold has to beat Ataraxia, probably 3-0 to have a good chance of making top 8. And so does Exclamation Point Play has to lose as well. Yeah. It's not looking too great if you are a Sheer Cold fan looking for playoffs run.
Yeah, it might be. It might just be curtains for Sheer Cold here in this Contenders Series.
04 Dash up 2-0 on Ataraxia. They have.
That's not good.
They have won 2 more maps in this tournament.
Shout out to 04 Dash. There's a big game coming up here in. Actually, it probably already started.
Versus YS.
Raspberry versus Pitbull Storm, yes. And also as well, if you manage to catch it, Twisted Minds are going to be playing EXO here for basically a battle at the top. That one will likely be over on the main Contender stream, should be. It'll be a banger for sure. But that's going to be it. Sheer Cold going to be leaving today with no maps taken. Really unfortunate, but they played 2 of the best 4 teams in the region. They look good in some of these maps and at moments. And as we said right at the start of the day, this Sheer Cold roster is new. A lot of these players first time playing at this level, even though they've been around for tier 3 for a while. So look out for some of these players in the future in this roster or not. But that's going to be it from me and Laser today. I don't believe we've got any interviews or anything else. We're going to throw you over now to our NA schedule. The Timeless Project will resume in a couple of hours. We've got Good Boys versus Rift, Worldwide versus Timeless, Saints versus PIP, and Good Boys once again playing against 03 Splash. So
yeah. And for our NA audience who are tuning into the EU streams, this is at 8 p.m. EST and 9:30 EST. So if you are looking to watch these matches, especially Good Boys, 03 Splash, Saints, Pirates and Pajamas, those 2 are going to be absolute showstoppers. And those are both going to be at 9:30 tonight. The rest of the matches are going to be great in their own rights, but some of the top teams in the region are going to be duking it out at 9:30.
It should be awesome. And shout out to Timeless once again for allowing us to cast EU, cast NA. Shout out to the Boga co-stream as well for the previous game, maybe for this game as well. I'm actually not too sure, but nonetheless, there'll be more Contenders action coming at you in a couple of hours. On NA, as Laser said, the top NA teams going to be going head-to-head on some of these smaller streams, thanks to the Timeless Project. That's going to be it for us today. Thank you, everyone, for sticking around in chat. Much love, much support. See you all tomorrow. We got some more EU action, but until then, keep up to date with the socials. Probably see you again around this time tomorrow. And that's it. Take care. Have a lovely rest of your evenings, gamers. And peace. See you later.
Bye-bye.